Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jan Moses, back here with my 100 overall pack opening from completing the 5th and final week of Downtown Agendas. Now, in the salary cap report episode that I dropped a little earlier today, I briefly covered these new Downtown Agendas. There are 3 of them that were going to take a little bit more time than some of the other agendas. Those were getting 17 assists in a game and then scoring 56 points, I believe it was, with a power forward. And I mentioned in that salary cap report episode when I was going over the agendas that you could double dip the chip and get both of those agendas done at the same time. But the last agenda that I covered, getting a triple double with a shooting guard, you would have to probably do on its own. And we just got it done with the player that I recommended that you guys use to get that triple double with a shooting guard agenda done. And that is Diamond Keyshawn George. What's really nice about Keyshawn George, and if I'm wrong about this, I'm really sorry. I'm pretty sure you can get Keyshawn George still from the exchange, and he's not that expensive to get. As a part of one of the dynamic duo options, his partner in that dynamic duo is Bilal Coulibaly. And their duo is actually pretty solid. And for the purposes of this game, it makes him, I think, a slightly better shooter. I really struggle to shoot with Keyshawn George, but honestly, it's fine. In 13 minutes, we're still able to get 15 points, 12 boards, and 14 assists. And we were able to get it done in one of the NBA playoff spotlight sims. It was, I think, the Opal Ty Jerome string. I think that's where we're up to. I think we did the full game against the Miami Heat. So it was 4-minute quarters. Not sure what the difficulty is, but I like getting agendas done in these challenges because I want to get the invincible at the end of this grind, especially now that it's looking like it's going to be a player from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know a lot of people think it's going to be SGA, but I think there's a chance we end up getting Jalen Williams, especially given the fact that he just dropped 40 on Indiana's head in game 5 last night. But we'll have to see. Regardless, I need to get these challenges done, so why not get the agendas done while I'm grinding out those challenges? That's exactly what I did. Just wanted to mention that to you guys because I know a lot of people default just going and playing domination. And, you know, I don't think a lot of us are trying to complete domination unless you want Bernard King, which that Dark Matter is a good card. But I think the majority of us who are grinding offline game modes would rather get these spotlight sims done so that you can get that invincible at the end of the NBA Finals. Before we move on to the pack, I just want to make sure that we are recording, and it looks like we are. All right, here we go. So let's back on out of here. I believe that is the last agenda. Man, this would be really embarrassing if I left something on the table, but I'm pretty sure I got everything else done. Let's see. We get 1,500 points. We should get Ty Jerome as well. Yep, right there. So Galaxy Opal, Ty Jerome. And then there it is, our 5th and final Shatter Prize piece for the 100 overall premium player pack. Now, if you've been playing salary cap like I've been, you will have access to another 100 overall, which I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already got because a lot of you guys are demons when it comes to this game, and you guys probably already hit 2,500 points. Round 3 has been live for what, 3 or 4 days, so I think that is plenty of time if you are excited about playing salary cap. I try to wait a little bit to let people like you guys who are all really good at the game hopefully duke it out and then stop playing the game mode so that I can play against less sweaty competition, but that doesn't always work out, does it? Yeah, so we got our 100 overall pack. Now, I also think that this pack is going to be one of the only 100 overall packs that does potentially have access to the 100 overalls that came out in this season. And that is a little scary because while there are some 100 overalls, like for example, in the champion set, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. All 3 of these cards would be very much welcomed additions to my lineup, excuse me. But Tony Parker was getting all emotional, having vicious flashbacks of me getting Galaxy Opal Hidden Gems Tony Parker back in the Winter MT Festival times when I got a Hoff box so I can get Kawhi Leonard's Galaxy Opal, and I ended up calling the fact that I was going to get Tony Parker. So I'm not going to say anything this time, but trust me when I say this, Tony Parker is still in my nightmares. Getting him out of that Hall of Fame box was really bad for my mental health, and I would not be shocked if a card like Tony Parker or another San Antonio Spurs point guard who's a 100 overall. De'Aaron Fox is waiting for me in that box. But you can see there are a number of 100 overalls that have come out during this season. It looks like we've gotten 4 in every single drop on a Friday. And I will say it looks like at least 50% of them are good to elite. You know, they're not all going to be incredible, right? Like, I mean, like in this drop, I know a lot of people don't like Bol, and they're saying Bol's one of the worst 100 overalls. But like, I will take a 7'3" power forward. I'd much rather have him than De'Aaron Fox or Tony Parker, right? If you look at the vibe set, Josh Smith would be great. Boogie Cousins, I'd be cool with. Lonzo Ball, I'd be cool with. Glenn Rice, I'd be cool with. Like, the vibes 100s are all really dope. I forgot who's in the Skylines. Okay, I probably don't want any of these cards. And I wouldn't be shocked if we got one of them, you know? So, yeah, man, we'll see what we end up getting. And, of course, there are a number of 100 overalls from previous seasons as well. There really are a lot of 100 overalls that aren't going to be all that exciting. And that was one of the things I talked about early in the season when I was talking to you guys in a video about whether or not it's worth playing salary cap this season, because, you know, at the beginning of the season, there weren't nearly as many 100 overalls, and there were still some troll ones like Devin Booker, like Patrick Ewing, like Luka Doncic. And now we've only gotten more 100 overalls, which means we have more troll options. And we all know 2K is weighing the odds such that the less desirable 100 overalls are probably going to come out of this pack and out of the 100 overall that we get from playing salary cap. But regardless, at least when it comes to these downtown agendas, the grind really wasn't all that bad. I would much rather do this grind than do the salary cap grind. I mostly only play the salary cap game mode because as much as I don't really complain. It's more so I just acknowledge the fact that it is really, really difficult to consistently win in salary cap. I'm 26-9, and I really think I'm overachieving in salary cap. I am not as good as my record says I am, but regardless, I'd much rather grind out agendas like these than play salary cap and sweat my ass off for 2,500 points every 2 weeks. With that being said, I'm not going to spend too much more time here. Let's just flip it and see who we get. My one ask is that it's not a duplicate. And then from there, we'll just see whatever 2K gives us. Because a duplicate would really suck. And then obviously getting one of those undesirable cards, like I mentioned, would also really suck. It's a Western Conference. It's a big man. Who is this? Is this Shaq? Oh, we get George Mikan. I don't know how I feel about George Mikan. I didn't even really know that he had a 100 overall. I think I actually went past. I bypassed the what's it called? The whole downtown collection. Let's take him into shoot around and see. We have so many power forwards now. Dwight Howard's a center, but I would run him at power forward. I don't love Dwight Howard's jumper. We have Willis Reed. We have Tim Duncan, who's probably still my favorite of all of them. And I just got this Dark Matter Jaren Jackson Jr., who gave me some incredible minutes in King of the Court over the weekend, where we ended up going 8-2. Let's go into shoot around really quick and see what does George Mikan's jump shot even look like. George Mikan's always a card I've actually enjoyed running with in my team. So let's see. He has hot zones everywhere. Okay, hold on. That was a pretty far three-pointer. Okay, that jumper's not bad. It's not super fast, but I'm one of those people where I actually struggle with the really fast jumpers. Yeah, it's not bad. I think this is a jumper I could actually work with offline. And hopefully online too. We'll have to see. Maybe if we play King of the Court in a future, okay. I am really struggling. There we go. Okay. It's not bad. I like that dunk. Putting the ball away from the defender. Yeah, no, not a bad card at all. I'm actually not upset about that. I mean, could have been better, absolutely, but you guys have to realize there's so many troll 100 overalls that you could get. I mean, like, we could have gotten a Lakers power forward and it could have been freaking James Worthy, you know? Like, I know people don't like Anthony Davis that much. I would have been cool with getting Anthony Davis, but I think George Mikan for me is the next best thing in terms of like a Lakers power forward. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with George Mikan. Again, not the sexiest name out there, but should be a really fun card to run. Let me see those defensive tendencies real quick. All right, not terrible. Not terrible. All right, cool. Yeah, he's not going to be a center for me. He will be a power forward, and maybe I'll replace Willis Reed for him just for fun, even though as a Knicks fan, that is kind of sacrilegious to replace the original captain of the Knicks. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below if and when you get your 100 overall, who did you get? Because we all know who you guys probably want, probably the same kind of players that I wanted. But the one good thing about this is this does confirm that the new 100 overalls that came out during this season are in those 100 overall packs. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.